You have discernment, that gift of discernment, and you have figured out a few things, that we're walking on an ancient burial site. We're walking on ancient civilizations. We're walking on ancient structures. If you have figured that out and also understand that we are the only species that pays to live here, that's because we are slaves here. We are slaves. This is a prison planet. The whole place, this earth is a prison, okay? Good morning, everybody. It's Michelle from the Moral Compass YouTube channel. How's everybody doing? I know it's been a minute. Haven't really had much to say, but so things are getting weird, even weirder. I know it's gone from Happy Mother's Day to Happy Birthing Day. And I wanted to touch a little bit on the premise that in the future, there will be no need for moms or dads because they will be genetically creating human resource. They will be creating minds and they will be able to create bodies, okay?
In the Industrial Revolution of the 19th century, what humanity basically learned to produce was all kinds of stuff, like textiles and shoes and weapons and vehicles. And this was enough for very few countries that underwent the revolution fast enough to subjugate everybody else. What we're talking about now is like a second industrial revolution, but the product this time will not be textiles or machines or vehicles or even weapons. The product this time will be humans themselves. We are basically learning to produce bodies and minds. Bodies and minds are going to be, I think, the two main products of the next wave of all these changes. And if there is a gap between those that know to produce bodies and minds and those that do not, then this is far greater than anything we saw before in history. And this time, if you're not part of the revolution fast enough, then you probably become extinct. Once you know how to produce bodies and brains and minds, so cheap labor in Africa or South Asia or wherever, it simply counts for nothing. Again, I think that the biggest question maybe in economics and politics of the coming decades will be what to do with all these useless people.
I thought it was important that I came on today because I was a little angry yesterday. I understand about what's going on with the whole abortion and the Roe versus Wade being overturned. I really need to, I guess I'll be the one to say this, but let's face it, they believe in their minds that they are fighting for the generations of children to come. So,
and our pussies ain't for grabbing. Therefore, reminding you that our walls are stronger than America's ever will be. Our pussies are for our pleasure. They are for birthing new generations of filthy, vulgar, nasty, proud, Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, Sikh, you name it, for new generations of
the cerns on earth have always been here. We are walking on ancient civilizations. They are unearthing the structures that were already here. This is not rocket science to figure out. They are unearthing the ancient technology, the weapons, their Hadron Colliders, their Arcs of Gabriel, They might even be unearthing those little pocketbooks or purses that you see the ancient kings carry in all the monuments on Earth, okay?
These are just great, extremely large giants.
Okay, so then this would also explain this email back here in 2019 requesting the documents pertaining to the resurrection chamber of Gilgamesh, the location of his body, and the location of the buried Nephillim.
Notice
right?
of this bag or
Right here, this is considered Nimrod or Gilgamesh. And I want you to take notice to his wrist. He has some ancient technology on there. Now this is one of the sculptures that's on Earth.
In my opinion, we are the aliens on here. If discernment, that gift of discernment, and you have figured out a few things, that we're walking on an ancient burial site, we're walking on ancient civilizations, we're walking on ancient structures. If you have figured that out and also understand that we are the only species that pays to live here, that's because we are slaves here. We are slaves. This is a prison planet. The whole place. This earth is a prison. Okay?
Then footsteps on the stairs. Then something quick and brutal that made her unable to scream. There'd be no mercies for a member of the resistance. I was asleep before. That's how we let it happen. When they slaughtered Congress, we didn't wake up. When they blamed terrorists and suspended the Constitution, we didn't wake up then either. They said it would be temporary. Nothing changes instantaneously.
What? I don't know what happened to them. I don't know.
You do know.
No.
Put it together. The pieces will fit.
Oh, no, they don't fit.
You have to look hard enough.
Why you think I've been fucking...
That's it. To depopulate the slaves who they call eaters, who is the human species.
The J2 system is an AI quantum computing technology that has the ability to use vast amounts of data that's being collected on the human domain, that's us, to generate a human terrain system, which they talk about in that PDF. Okay, in geographic locations, in order to identify, eliminate targets, insurgents, rebels, or whatever labels that can be flagged as targets on a global information grid in a network-centric warfare
They're
environment.
not slaves because they're from the ancient bloodlines. They are looking for their relatives who are buried under the earth. They are looking for... They're terraforming the earth because they're looking for the ancient structures that were buried under one of the last resets, which was... So when they find ancient maps, they know where it is. They know where the CERNs are. They know where the Hadron Colliders are. They know. Like, don't engage. Okay, you are a peculiar people. If you have any and all understanding or a tad bit understanding of what I'm speaking of in this content, then you need to understand that you're not from here. You're not from here. You're a pilgrim here. You're passing through here.
I am a nasty woman. I'm not as nasty as a man who looks like he bathes in Cheeto dust.
Why do you think they call Mother's Day birthing day? They don't need a a mom or a dad anymore, okay? And it's been winter for very many years. If you understand the fourth turning, you would understand what I just said. I follow the words of Jesus Christ, which the Bible's anagram is basic instructions before leaving earth. B-I-B-L-E. And those instructions will help you figure out where you may need to migrate to. Okay? So your discernment gift is good. Your discernment gift is going to save you. It says, my people will perish for lack of knowledge. Do you have lack of knowledge? If you don't have lack of knowledge, then guess what? You are the alien on Earth. You are the alien. You are the peculiar person here. You are not from here. You were placed here for a time such as this to go through this reset. This may be the last reset. There may be 1,000 years of no resets, which would be the longest time. Jesus Christ is everything to me. I try to walk like Jesus Christ, and I fail utterly. But it is a new day for me every day when I can turn my mind over and think, what can I do today to get closer to Jesus and to be more like Jesus Christ? That's what you should be doing. CERN has always been here. These structures have been here. These people have been here. You are the visitor here. They've always been here. They're going to be here again. The question is, are you going to die for lack of knowledge? Open up your mind, open up your heart, and follow Jesus Christ. Pick up your cross and follow Jesus Christ. Growing is not easy. It's a lot of pain, okay? So put yourself on the potter's wheel and let Jesus do what he needs to do. But please wake up and come out of her, my people.
I've been working on some of this new technology coming out since they have or are attempting to connect everybody to a hive mind or to connect human beings worldwide. So I've been doing a lot of research on all the new technology since I believe AI is pretty much in control right now. I know it's difficult to understand, but there's a lot of people around that were injected that may have had sensors actually placed inside their bodies. Luciferance, the benefits and applications. Luciferance assays are used to measure promoter activation and gene regulation, providing information about genes expression. They can detect even small changes in transcription, making them useful for quantifying gene activity. The luciferance that was in the certification of validation, identification for artificial intelligence. By the work of Bruno Latour offers a sliding scale of techno-humanity as a framework for the legal and policy discussion of what it means to be a human in an age where bodies are things connected to the internet. All right?